What up?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sippin With Serpents. We got a cool guest on, Nate with the Real McCoy. Gonna be a good time. Got the purple going, you know what I'm saying, for our guest, special guest. You have a good night, Justin?
Already know. You already know. How about yourself?
Hey, man, we here. We drinking a Kugel, or however the hell you say it, summer shanty. I don't know how to pronounce it, but
I got the mules going tonight.
Hell yeah. Well, without further ado, we'll bring up Nate, and then we'll start rolling through these comments, and we'll get the bar talking.
Let's go.
What's up, buddy?
Nate,
how you doing there, buddy?
What's up, everybody?
How's it going?
Nate McCoy from Real McCoy Exotics. Some people call me Half Naked Nate. Some people call me Nasty Nate. I got a lot of nicknames, you know, around me.
I like Half Naked Nate. I think I like that.
I have a shirt on today.
And your logo's dope too, with the beard, with the snakes and shit.
Appreciate it.
That is
yeah.
dope.
We'll go ahead and show y'all. We got it right here up in next to the RWO.
That side.
A really sweet logo.
Appreciate it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, whichever way. We figured out today that when you mirror your screen on here, it's not really mirrored. It's weird.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, I hope all's well out in Cali. You're out in Cali, aren't you?
For now.
Yeah. I heard you was a Detroit what?
What'd you say?
I heard you was a Detroit boy.
Yeah, born and raised in Detroit. We're actually moving back to Michigan in next week.
Heck shit, man.
Yeah, we're packing up and driving.
Okay. Man, that's a task, ain't it? Moving all them snakes.
Yeah.
So the deer up there are amazing. My buddy goes up to Michigan every year to do some deer hunting, and oh my gosh, bro, the deer out there.
I've heard that. I've never been hunting, but I've heard that.
Oh, he's a big dude, and there's some deer he lays next to, and it isn't even half the deer, you know. And he's laying next to it, like, check it out, bro. And I'm like, what in the hell?
That sounds about right, for real.
Well, hell, y'all want to go through some of these comments real quick, and we'll shout some folks out, and then
let's do it.
See where the night takes us.
We got the normal right there.
LMK, what up, big dog? Yeah.
Got Tyson himself.
The homie, Tyson.
What's
hell
up,
yeah?
Tyson?
Dickie Foster.
Got Mincy in the house.
Already starting with the beers, man. Come on, y'all.
I know I saw Josh down there.
You opened up a can of worms by doing that one.
I did, but you know what? It's all funny, baby. JG. Got Blue Zombie. What's up, Vance? Y'all go watch the replay of the Thunderdome. It was a great episode tonight.
Got Mark.
Great dude right there, man. Brave.
What's up, Brave? Josh,
what's good, man? That new clutch you were showing off today on the Thunderdome looked good.
I see Eric down there. Eric B. and Rakim. I see Josh from Infinite Rats and Rodents. Those my pictures.
Kurt, everybody go Sunday to his page, please, so he doesn't have to freaking plug it a billion more times. Love you, Kurt.
Getting down. There's Eric B. What up, Eric?
What up, Eric? Appreciate that.
Actually, Eric, when I first got in this community, him and Chucky were definitely the two I watched all the damn time. They were the homies for sure.
He got a new logo though. I don't like it. I like the old Cartman, right?
Yeah.
I miss the old Cartman. Now he's probably at work or something. He's always at work, I feel like. So.
He works nights. He doesn't. I don't think he works on the weekend.
Oh, so, hell yeah!
What
up, Steph?
I literally talk to Eric almost every night. We're both on night shift, so we're in this. We're in a Discord and we're on there every night. It's me, him, and like 3 or 4 other people, literally every single night.
Heck
yeah! Hell yeah, Eric.
He's got some cool ass shit too.
Oh yeah,
he's really big with the berms. Got some venomous stuff over there.
Hots or what's up? He's wild for messing with him. I can't do it, but I talk to him for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I don't want anything that can unalive me.
Right.
No,
Mike,
I can get a ball python off me, but
right.
when that cobra bites you, there's not really much you can do.
The whole thing is if it gets loose, you're tearing your whole house apart to find
That
that.
too. I got little kids. I got young babies. I got dogs. All kinds of stuff.
You ain't sleeping right if you ain't finding it. That's for sure.
I'll probably get a hotel, you know what I'm saying, to call old Steve Irwin or a Steve Irwin lookalike to come over and wrangle him up or something.
Right.
Call Eric over. He can come wrangle him up.
Yeah, there you go.
They be like, "What? Your what got loose? Nah, I'm good. I'm not coming over. Can't do it."
My 12-foot king got out.
Right. Can't do it.
It's a big around of the softball.
All right, is there anybody else in the chat?
I think you're all caught up, man.
I got Steph. I think I got everybody. I got John.
Yeah, we're all caught up for sure, man. Appreciate all y'all being here tonight, man. It's going to be a great episode. We were saying we got Nate coming out. Going to be awesome. So what got you started? Like, what got you started in breeding ball pythons? Like, just right off the rip.
If we go way back, it was Brian Barczyk who actually got me into studying the different mutations because I was a kid back then. This was probably 2000.
You talking about snake bite days?
Yeah, snake bites. This is like early 2000, 2008, 2009, something like that. I was watching him every single week. He was dropping, and I was looking at the spider ball python. I was looking at the pinstripe, all the things that he was making. And I was like, I want to do that, but I'm a kid, so I can't go buy it. So I'm just studying for years. And then my mom got me my first ball python when I was 10 or 11. Something like that. And then from then on, I always wanted to be a breeder. I got my second ball python, I want to say around 15, 16, and we had our first clutch. It was probably around 18, 19. And then I ended up giving it up to join the military in 2016.
Okay.
In the military for 8 years, got out in 2021. Bought our first snake in this collection in 2021 when I got out, and then the rest is history. I just been building and building and building.
What branch of military?
Air
Army?
Force.
Air Force. Oh, okay. I work at Maxwell in Alabama.
You work at where?
Maxwell and Gunner.
Oh, Maxwell. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome, dude. Appreciate your service, man.
All right, no problem.
Facts.
The hell yeah. So let me get this pulled back up real quick. Just trying to moderate everybody. I'm trying to smurf all y'all. So what was the first morph you ever produced? Like, not your first clutch, but like, I guess your first morph that you ever produced that you were like, like, I guess like for me, I guess it would be an albino, and I know it's a single gene albino, whatever, but me doing that back then was like, cool, it was awesome,
Right. Which is funny because the first one I was really excited to make was bumblebees.
Sweet. Okay.
When we hit our first bumblebee, I was just too excited. That was the most beautiful snake in the world to me. Back when they were
actually
big.
Do look good. They still do look.
Yeah. They just don't age well.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a lot. A lot of it is, you'll sell a snake to somebody and they'll be so happy because it's so orange or yellow, and it gets older. Like a year later, they call you and they're like, "Yo, man, what's going on?" And you're like, "Hey, that's just like." But that's why you have to always try to go for quality. So that's gonna last. Like if you always want to say, "Let me see, can I see the dad and the mom?"
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Do your research. Look for one as an adult, maybe.
Yeah.
Facts.
What morphs or combos are you like the most excited about right now in 2025?
I'm really, really heavy on the lace. I've been doing a lot of lace pairings, a lot of deep pound stuff, pied. As far as codoms, it really just is lace.
Okay.
Oh, we just got into sapphire. We had a sapphire clown. Yeah, I think sapphire is going to be a big codom coming up. Carbon, we got some carbon stuff in just now, so really excited about those.
You definitely throw some genes out there that haven't been worked a lot.
That's my goal. I really don't want to be chasing somebody. I want to find my own lane and maybe make something nobody's ever seen, and
like the sapphire and the carbon, definitely, it's been around, but definitely hasn't been working.
Hasn't really been, Like I've never seen a sapphire clown.
And that's what I was gonna say. I'm gonna have to ask you to pull it out here later on for sure.
We're gonna do a snake and tail for sure because he's got some heat over there. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, I didn't know Nate.
Yeah, look at that. There we go.
It even knew to do it. You know what I'm saying? It just knew. But Tyson hooked all this up, and I ain't gonna lie. I was creeping on your IG, and dude, I think your setup looks great. Your snakes look very good and healthy, and very vibrant. So
we take a lot of pride in making sure the snakes stay healthy. We feed as much as they want. We produce our own rodents, so we're not worried about snakes eating. You'll never see a skinny snake over here. People actually send me their snakes to fatten them up, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, that happens. I mean, like that happens in our group too. The RWO family. If someone has a snake that's not eating, a hatchling or something, you send it to somebody or meet them at a show and let them take it home and work with it.
Exactly.
That's awesome you do that, though. I mean, that's what it's all about at the end of the day is healthy animals and relationships, good relationships with people,
For sure. Yep.
So what is a project that you've noticed recently that you may have been pursuing for a while and maybe you've walked away from it? Is there anything like that has happened to you in the past, this recent days? I know there's a lot of morphs and genes out there that people will get into and then they lose their excitement over it because maybe the price or what it may do when they finally breed it. So
I don't want to hurt any feelings.
You won't hurt no feelings. You'll be all right.
I feel like I was really excited. I feel like I was really, really excited about the sunset stuff. And then I got my first sunset. She's not breeding yet. She's around 1,300 grams, so she'll probably go by the end of the year. But then I've been seeing some of the stuff that's been made, and I don't want to say it doesn't look good because some of it does look good, but I'm not as impressed as I was when Brian first showed the sunset, and I was like super excited. So that's probably the best example of a snake that I don't want to say it let me down, but I'm just not as excited about it as I was when I first saw him.
And the sunset gene is a crazy story, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if a lot of people know, but that snake got stolen from BHB.
Yeah.
And Brian put all that work into it, yada, yada. And they actually got stolen.
Yeah.
So, if you have a sunset, that's stolen property. You need to
right? It's crazy how like hearing that story, it messed me up because I myself wondered, like, he came out with the sunset, and then I never heard sunset from him again. Yep. And I was like, what happened? At first I was thinking maybe they didn't reproduce, like maybe the females couldn't reproduce or something like that. Because I just heard this story probably 4 or 5 years ago. Like I didn't even know about it when it was happening.
Oh, really? That's wicked.
No, I had no idea.
I'm not gonna mention names or anything, but it got handed down, and which everybody does know that do know about it. It got pretty much handed down and passed out,
Yeah.
And I think Cusco's the one
worked the hell out of it.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Brian Cusco is the one that sent Brian Barczyk a sunset to get it back into his collection because I think he like straight up because of the stuff that happened. I think he shunned it or shelved it.
Yeah,
basically like what you're saying. He lost everything. He put all that work into it, and he got ripped out of it. He was like, "Screw it." So I think he sent that to him. So that was pretty cool.
It's crazy. It's crazy the way that they said it was happening. Like they were switching the heads out, and in theory, like that could work. Like if you had a bunch of employees and you were making something that doesn't exist, and nowadays there's no shed testing for it, so it's like it could easily happen to anybody.
Yeah, and that's the good thing about shed testing. And I hated shed testing. Everybody that knows me, when that stuff was coming out, I was like, this sucks. Because I'm like I'm an older schooler kind of guy. Basically the reason I didn't like it was because I put a lot into this money wise and effort, only to breed a het that wasn't a het.
Yeah,
but, it's like that. I felt like I was being robbed, and these new breeders, these COVID breeders, and all these people, screw them because they can shed test. But at the end of the day, it is a good thing. I've learned that to love it. Honestly, I think it's great for the community and the hobby. Honestly.
Yeah. See, it kind of helped me and hurt me because I invested in double visuals or visuals so that I don't have to hold back pos hets, and then shed testing comes out, and it's like, dang, I could have got the cheaper, and it just tested what I wanted to keep. But
For sure.
Fact.
Yep.
Fact.
It's a double-edged sword. It can be a double-edged sword for sure, but
yeah,
it is helping. It's helping weed out the people that would rip somebody like me and you off 5, 6, 7 years.
yeah, true.
So we were talking about I'm glad you mentioned this because it's a question. So what you said you have people that send you snakes to get them to eat, fatten them up, get them healthy. So how do you deal with a difficult feeder, like a difficult snake that gives you a hard time eating? What is your process for that?
So I have a few tricks. Number one, if it's a hatchling, usually I'll be able to change the substrate. I start them all on paper towel. If they eat on paper towel, I'll leave them on paper towel for a while, for a couple weeks. Let them get a couple of meals, and then I'll switch them to either cypress mulch, or we do cocoa blocks as well, and vice versa. If she doesn't eat on paper towel, I'll put them on cocoa. Doesn't like cocoa, I'll take the cocoa out, put them on cypress. Usually one of those three works. Otherwise, I'm really good at assist feeding. I don't know if you saw the video. I do it like a choo-choo train. I put like 2 or 3. They'll eat like 2 or 3 fuzzies back to back, and usually the next week or 2 weeks after that, they usually always eat.
Okay.
Bigger snakes I can put them in a smaller tub, and then they usually eat also.
Yeah. Bigger snakes are kind of it's the hatchlings that usually is always a pain in the butt, So for what you're saying is it's your trick. The thing that helps you the most is assist feeding. Of course, that's your last resort. You have no choice, but substrate, different substrates or paper towels, whatever works good for you.
That usually works. That usually does the trick. I usually don't have any issues. I've probably assist feed 3 snakes a year, if that.
And it does happen. I mean, it's nothing, Anybody who breeds animals who says that they don't like the process or the fact that they think you're doing something wrong, right? Or just pet people in general, they're like, you shouldn't have to do that. If you're having to assist feed, you're the one in the wrong. Your husbandry's wrong, but it's really not like that. I mean, you breed, let's say you breed 100 babies in a year. Obviously, something is going to happen.
It's just nature. It's just nature. In the wild, they just wouldn't live. It's just nature. We're just stepping in a little bit and helping out. Some people don't think that that's right, but I don't think it's right that I brought them in this world, that I just let them perish.
Yeah. You're going to do everything you can, even if it's a normal. You're still going to try to give it the best chance possible. That's why we do things like cut eggs. That's why we do all these that's why a lot of people don't do maternal incubation, which I'm leaning toward maternal after messing with Pat, but that's a whole other conversation. But
I'll tell you what, if you go over there and watch and see the shit that I see,
it's
watching
wild.
maternal, it will blow, like it's mind blowing to me. Literally, every time I go there and see the stuff, like it's insane. And it was like 2 years ago when I first met him, and I was going over there checking them all out and stuff. He was telling me how like a mom knows that he's helping her babies out. Like she will sit there while he's cutting the eggs, and she'll just watch them. And then when the baby comes out, like it's insane. Like it's like he builds a bond with that mother, and she knows that he's helping her out with her baby. Like it's insane. It literally blew my when he was telling me that story, I was like, wow, that's actually like you're getting way closer with your animals than a lot of people really realize that you are.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. That just seems like more stress on the animal.
It's crazy. It's insane. Like you build a bond, and that snake shows respect to you, and like you go, like he can go in there and pull them off the clutches, and because they're used to it year after year of him doing maternal incubation, it's just a respect thing they give each other. It's crazy.
That's pretty dope. I've actually heard of people like they do the maternal incubation. The snakes will eat while they're coiling the eggs. The snakes will drink water while they're coiling the eggs. And
check out Pat at North Florida Cold Blooded. If you don't follow him already, go to his Instagram later or whatever and look at him because he's really good at it. And it's really cool, like Justin said, to watch his videos because it's crazy. You wouldn't think that it would be that way, but it sure as hell is.
Actually, Keys threw a show. What was it last week? you can go back and watch the Key show where they did the to breed or like to breeding maternal or to incubate, and they did a back and forth thing on it, and it's actually really
did a
good.
debate.
Yep, the little debate. Actually, it was a debate. I'm trying to remember the show. It's on top of my head. I couldn't remember, but it's a debate. Yes.
Yeah.
If you go back and check it out, it's actually really good. You got Patrick on there and another guy from another country on there, I believe, as well. They're going back. It's pretty cool. Pretty good.
And for everybody in the chat, that's Keys Constrictors. Y'all all know, but anybody who might not know, you can go over there and check that out. It's awesome.
That's why that was me out more than them.
What's like a typical day in your snake room look like? Because you know everybody that has these many animals, it is an everyday thing. So what's like a typical day in your snake room?
Most days I'm just going through and checking for poop, checking for water, checking for ooze and shed, checking for making sure everybody is doing good. I call it a 3-foot BS check. I just look from 3 feet away, make sure everything's good. They're not, they don't have anything come out of their mouth or they're not acting weird or anything like that. I have everything pretty much scheduled. We feed on 2 days a week. I do a deep clean 1 day every week. Yeah, pretty much just come in here. I make it a effort to come in here every single day.
You make it, you have to, like, regardless. Yeah. And that's why I tell people, like, they want to do it. And I'm like, look, man, I got hernia right now, honestly. And I just had to make a freaking rack build video. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Bro. So it's like, you even on your bad days, you have to do it. I mean,
it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle for sure.
It is, for sure. Yeah. And it's, to the people that love it, it's not really bad. You know,
you better love it. You better love it. You're gonna burn out.
Yeah, if you don't love it, it's gonna suck. Yeah. For sure. So you basically do a health screen, a quick little overview of the room and the tubs and all. So how many snakes do you like? I guess how many breeders do you have to check? Like how many do you have in your collection?
I actually don't have that many. I have about 40 breeders.
That's a good chunk.
Go ahead.
I said that's a good chunk of snakes. Don't be like that.
A lot of people think I have like hundreds though. People like they're like, oh, you only have like 40 clutches? I haven't even had 40 clutches. We have last year we only had 9 clutches. This year I think we'll have like 20, 25. All together, we probably have around 80 animals, maybe 90 animals all together.
That's the thing I like about you, though. It's not about quantity; it's about quality. With names, for sure.
Exactly.
And I like that. I can respect that because, like me, I don't breed unnecessary clutches. I breed probably 4 females a year. Honestly, I'm not like a dang what do you call it? A supplier.
Yeah,
I'm just a hobby dude. Like I like to do it. That's my hobby. There's nothing wrong with doing that. It's just you have to understand your limits. And I've been there. I've had 50 babies, 100 babies, and it sucked for me. For me personally, because having to do all that by myself, that's hard. Yeah. But you have to understand your personal boundaries and go accordingly. So, like for you, 40. That's good for you.
Yeah, 40 is a great number. I don't think I can more.
40 could be too many for the next guy. 20 could be too many for somebody. It's all about your personal preference. So I don't know when people are like, oh man, I got more snakes than you. I know more or something like that. I can't stand that, dude. It makes
you get a lot of that. Yeah.
So
I just let them have it though. Some people like that, you can't really tell them nothing. You just gotta let them have it. Oh, you're right. Oh, really?
Yeah, you're right, dog. Yeah, no.
Agree to disagree, more or less.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like Nate said, you can't even say that anymore. You just have to literally tell them you're right. Like
right.
You're right. Just get them to shut up. So that being said, what's a good piece of advice you give someone wanting to get into the breeding business today, this year, 2025, with all the drama that goes on and everything else?
I think today is a great day to get in. The prices on everything is so cheap. The auctions are going so good. My advice to someone who wants to start today is to do as much research as you can. Only purchase the snakes that you need for your specific projects. And if you've done enough research, do more research. There's always more research. I discover new mutations every single day. It's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. And morph market don't help
No.
You know, does late night playing in the bed, morph marketing.
Yeah, and I'm on night shift, so
It's good.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
A lot of lulls at work, I'm sure, on morph marketing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
how do you go about pricing your like higher end morphs? Is that something you do? Is you go on the market and kind of gauge? I guess like everybody does. Is that how you kind of do that, or?
Pretty much. I look at what the big guys are charging, and I look at what the cheapest is, and I try to go somewhere in the middle.
There you go.
Makes
Trying to
sense.
make it fair for you and the buyer. I like that.
Exactly.
I like that.
Honestly, if you go to that top
Yeah.
number, you're gonna sit there and sit on it forever. You know, you want to get rid of the snakes and move them as well. You know.
Exactly. But then again, you also don't want to tank the project, so you don't want to go with the lowest that
Correct.
is listed on Morph Market, but you find your way in the middle.
Correct.
Hey, do you have these questions? Because you were literally segueing into every freaking question so perfectly. So that being said about the auctions and all, and the pricing, how do you stay competitive in a saturated market like we're in now? Where everything is cheap. How do you kind of stay above that bar to where you're not losing out?
As far as auctions?
No, as far as like just staying competitive price wise without giving them away, essentially, and selling at the same time. Is there points in your life where you have to just bite the bullet and just say, I'm just going to get rid of it. That way I stay relevant or I stay competitive or whatever the situation is?
I don't know. I'm not really worried about being competitive, but for me, it's like how you said, quality over quantity. So the things that I'm producing, I don't mind keeping them. You know what I mean? Most of them, like especially if it's a female or something, and she's getting up in the size, and she's 900, 1,000 grams. I'll probably pull her off Morph Market. Okay, you guys don't see the vision. That's fine. I'll keep her and I'll breed her and maybe sell her as a proven breeder. Then now she's worth even more. You missed out.
Facts.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I agree 100%. It's not about being competitive, really, but it is the competitive market, especially now with, like you said, auctions, and that's a double-edged sword as well, depending on how you look at it. It's good for you if you're buying, but it's bad for you if you're selling. Essentially.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. It's great for getting in.
Yeah. If you're getting into it, for sure. Yeah. Hey, go. If you got $1,000 and you can spend that on balls right now, you can get some good stuff. You can probably get a couple. Pairs, you know what I'm saying? Easy of some good stuff.
You get some double visuals.
Oh,
nice stuff for $1,000 right now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I was gonna say, and you can be picky. There's so many auctions going on. You can be picky as hell with it because you could wait till the next day or the next day. You're gonna run into something eventually.
Yeah, and then you can just throw a $10 bid in on a lot of like I've seen crested geckos on there that like my friend that breeds crested geckos. It almost I can see it in his face. He wallows up and he just wants to go back there and scream in the reptile room, because it's like he's breeding these animals, been working this project for years, and he's seen them going for $30. $20, and it's like, no, dude, these are expensive ass lizards or frogs.
That's the risk you take with those auctions, man. If you put a starting bid, most of the time people won't even bid on them. So if you put a reserve price too high, it most likely won't even get to it.
Nope. You got to start out at $1 and let them run it up, more or less.
You got to do no reserve.
Would you stay on that auction if there's a high reserve, and then you can go to the one next to it that's that same animal for no reserve, and you can get it for $10?
Exactly. I mean, this isn't my advice, but I don't touch any bid that has a reserve on it.
Nope.
Because that means it's most likely gonna be retail price. If I wanted to get it for retail, I would just look for it.
That's my thing. Is like a lot of people when they do these posts for these auctions and they put these auctions up. They don't put themselves in the buyer's shoes.
Yeah.
Like put yourself literally step aside from really what's your feelings and your emotions or the money you want to make from the snake and step aside and look at what the buyer is actually going to do or look at this. And that's really how you're going to win in that situation.
That's facts. Yep. So I guess that we can go to the next thing. What's the most unexpected business challenge you faced with this whole snake business?
Business challenge.
Like it could be marketing, it could be sales, it could be time and effort for nothing? I mean, anything like that, you know, any unexpected business challenge?
That's a great question.
I know. Thank you, Tyson, by the way, for these questions. You're killing it. I'm just using these questions, you know, like they're my own. So
See, I don't know. That's a great question because I don't even think of this as being challenging. It's more of like I just need to get better. I don't look at it as like, okay, that was challenging. I look at it, okay, I learned from that. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
if I would say a challenge, maybe the rodents, probably figuring out how to produce the right amount of rodents to where you don't run out of rodents, but then you don't make too many rodents.
that's my challenge. I was gonna say
Yeah.
that, like, as an example, that's my challenge because I always run out.
Yeah.
But my collection of rodents is only a 4 to, you know, I don't have the quantity of snakes really to have any more than that.
Mhm.
But you know, it is hard to manage that. That is
Yeah.
that's a great answer for sure.
And especially when you're on like a scale like myself or yours, where we don't need 1,000 rats a week, because I think it'd be easier to make 1,000 rats a week than it would to make
It would.
200
It
rats a week.
would.
Yeah.
It totally would, because you're having to manage, like you said, you don't want too many, because then you're going to have to go buy a gas tank. You're going to have to do that, freeze them, vacuum seal, blah, blah, blah. And you might not want to feed frozen dogs.
Exactly. You might have people that are like, no, I need them live. And then it's like, oh, man, I just froze 600 of them. Dang,
You can buy 600, right now. No doubt.
But yeah, luckily I have big breeders like Capital City, who's close by. I have some other breeders around that if I'm overloaded with rats, sometimes I'll be like, yo, Rich, I need you to take 200 rodents. Okay, bring them over. He's always feeding. So
come on.
I just want to give another shout out to the Chooch down there. Okay, that's the last time he's allowed to say it, everybody. Everybody go and fucking hit that bell. Jesus Christ. I love you, Kurt. But yeah, no, that's a great answer. I mean, I agree 100%. Producing rodents is an essential, but you have to understand what you're doing, or it can get out of hand very fast, and it can be overwhelming. So what do people might not know about you outside of the reptile world, like not having to do with animals or reptiles?
Something that may not know about me. Something a lot of people are surprised when they hear about me is that I grew up, like, when I tell people like I was an athlete growing up, what would you think? Like baseball player, football player?
Well, now that you've said this, I'm going to say tennis.
I did play tennis, but that wasn't my main. Actually, I was #1 singles when I was graduated high school, when I was a senior.
I would definitely say baseball or football. It'd be one of the two for sure.
That's what most people think. Wrestling, no. It's not a physical sport at all. I grew up.
You got them big ass arms, bro. Like
these came later. These came much later, though. They came much later.
He said, I would say, so if those came later, then you're thinking athlete, and it's not really an athletic sport. So were you doing like chess?
No.
I'm thinking like track.
I had to mess with you, Nate. I had to mess with you.
Field or wrestling, dude. I don't know.
So it was actually swimming.
Oh hell yeah! Come on.
I actually swam competitively for 16 years.
Oh wow!
USS, state championships, nationals, all that stuff.
Hell yeah!
And most people wouldn't think that. I was actually really, really skinny when I was younger.
What explains why you like to always have a shirt off, guys? You hear this, right?
You're like a bodybuilder down there. Look at my little puny ass arm. Yeah. You're like, what's up? My name's Nate. I got some snakes.
Yeah, around 10th grade, 11th grade, I started getting really into lifting weights and bodybuilding and getting bigger. And I probably should have. I wish I had played football growing up. I think I have the build for like a running back or something, but.
For sure, yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I would imagine. Honestly, I would have said football.
Right? That's the most people say football or baseball. I actually played baseball a lot too. I actually played baseball in college. That was like the sport I pursued. But
come on.
Oh, yeah. So what motivates you to keep going in this industry? Like, I know we all have our setbacks. We have our days where, like we were talking about, shitty days where you don't want to go in there and do it. But like, you know, what motivates you?
I think it's just the love of the animals. Honestly, like I come in here sometimes and I don't even have anything to clean. I'm just messing with the animals, just holding them, taking pictures, trying to take videos. I try to do like a couple funny videos every couple months and try to make it fun. And just the engagement that we get, it helps with motivation as well.
Yeah, your videos on Instagram are awesome, dude. Like the quality's good. What are you using? Like a damn GoPro or something to film it?
Most of them I just use my phone, but if you're talking about the ones where we were at the show, my brother is a professional photographer, and he actually came out and actually did like a professional shoot.
It was very nice.
It
was very nice. Everybody go to his thing if you're not already following him and look at his video quality. It's really nice.
Yeah, he's dope. He's dope.
It does look very good. Look, Tyson said hockey. I guess because you're from Detroit.
Oh, that's the one. That's probably the one sport I haven't played. I've played some type of organized most sports except for hockey. That's the only one I've never played.
Hell yeah. Well, that's awesome, man. You know, I honestly would have never expected you were a swimmer. You know,
Nobody does.
We didn't have swimmers. Like my high school, for instance, I grew up in the South, so it's football and baseball or nothing. If you're a male, that's what it is. If you're a dude, that's all it is. Yeah. But, you know, girls had volleyball, tennis, track, whatever. But like, we didn't have a swimming pool. We didn't have none of that. You know, we didn't have nothing like that. So I never really knew anybody that was a swimmer that did it like competitively. You know, like
most people
they can't swim.
Never did.
I don't swim. I float. I float just like this down the Alabama River on a
That's all you really need. You just, as long as you float, you're good. I actually can't float. I've never been able to float. I think my body's too dense. I've never been able to float.
Oh, you just got to have that. You got to get in that state, that Zen state, dude, and Wu side all the way down.
I'll be Zen all the way. I'll be Zen all the way to the bottom.
The bottom of the water, right?
Heck yeah. So where do you see this hobby, the ball python hobby, in 5 to 10 years? Like, what do you think it's going to be like? Do you think it's going to be more pet quality animals or more higher end stuff? Speaking on terms of the way pricing is and all.
I think all of the high end stuff eventually is going to be pet quality prices. I think that the ball python industry is only going up. As you know, it's easy now. I don't want to say easy, but a lot of people are importing new genetics and new this and that, and eventually there's going to be a new clown, there's going to be a new pie, there's going to be a new blah blah blah, and all of those are going to be pet quality. So there's going to be a lot more pets, you know, in 5-10 years. But there's also going to be brand new stuff that's going to take the place of, you know, what's 30 grand now. It's going to be, you know, $1,000 in 10 years.
Oh yeah. Well, that's any morph of ball python, you know. Yeah. Like we were talking about Brian Barczyk, you know, like he was paying, I think when the banana, I think it was the banana, it was like 80 grand.
Yeah.
For the albino, 2 albinos was like over $100,000. You know,
yeah, and I think he imported the scaleless head, something like that too. It was like
yeah. All that stuff, but you got to think. I feel like now we've pretty much. I think it's a morph thing now. I don't think it's necessarily a gene game. I think that I mean, you got to understand. To me, it feels like we've probably picked every ball python gene that's going to be picked out of the wild. Unless it's, you know, but I don't know though. To me, it seems like because you have what you call now dinkers, right? You have dinker projects, and that's what people are pulling out of the wild, like Val's Misfit. Like there's 100 countless other ones that are dinker projects that aren't known, but they are something. But like as far as talking about something like a banana or a pastel or albino, something like that, I don't necessarily think that they're going to be pulling any more exanthic type gray and black ball pythons. You know what I mean? I think
there's all going to be stuff on the same complex, is what you're saying.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think what we're heading towards is just different morphs, and you're getting those morphs through those different genes that were already big. And that's how we get these new, big, expensive animals. But like you said, in 5 years, a $10,000 snake's going to be $50.
Yep.
Because those people are going to have bred it because they've had enough time to grow them up, do that. They've held on to the ones they're going to hold because, let's be honest, they're going to hoard it because that's what, that's just how you have to do it. Especially if you want something, and I hate to say that because I'm not like that, but I can understand how people are like that, where they don't want to just sell stuff because it's like, well, I don't know what's in this. But for me, I couldn't do that because I wouldn't be able to sell anything. I would have hundreds of snakes around me, not be able to let go of nothing. But I don't know. I think 5 to 10 years, we're in for a treat for sure.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ready to import any dinkers, but I definitely like to get my hands on dinkers when they become proven, like right when they become proven, like sapphire, things like that, things that people don't really work with. I love to get my hands on those.
Well, and that's the thing, right? And that's why I think that it's better to do it as a dinker because it's less expensive for you, right? But then again, you could be it's a gamble, and that takes us back to the old school days where you're dropping money on something that you don't know. There's not even a shed test for it, so that's not even an option. It's like the old school ball python Wild West days. You know what I mean? Like, people are selling stuff. They don't even know what it is.
Yeah,
they're just telling you it's a het clown when a clown was $1,000. Like for example, like you said, like these higher end morphs are going to be pet quality. Clown is a pet quality priced animal right now, unless it has all these other genes. A single gene clown, not even that long ago, was expensive.
Yeah.
It was expensive. And now you can get a clown visual male single gene clown for $100, right?
Yeah. Just during COVID, single gene clown female, if she was proven breeder, you're gonna get at least $1,000 for it. Now you can find them on you can get one on auction for $50, $100.
$50. Proven breeder. Proven breeder adult, bro.
Proven breeder, yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy, dude.
Yep.
Damn, man. Yeah, you know what's up. So how long you said you've been doing it since you're like 15, 14. I'm sure you're around my age, maybe 35, 34, maybe.
Yeah, 31.
You've been in the game a while. So, I mean, I guess that's a long time. So you've seen a lot of good stuff, So
it's been on and off for me. So when I was younger, I was in the game, but it was more like on YouTube. I wasn't going to shows. I wasn't networking. I didn't know anybody. It was just me and my ball python. I had like 4 ball pythons, and it was just me, But now, after about 2021, when I got out, I actually started networking. I started posting. I started acquiring more investment quality animals, and actually.
That's when you got out of the military.
Yeah, that's when I got out of the military.
Because the military, they don't play. They're not, unless you hide it. I work for Hunt military housing.
Yeah.
And they do not allow snakes.
No,
they do not allow
not on base, no.
No. And I know people I've sold some snakes out there on the down low, you know what I'm saying? But they don't really care. At the end of the day, they don't care. Housing is not going to care, but they would care about this. They would care about rodents being bred in the third bedroom. I'm not down with that, but
for sure.
Yeah, I can understand how you waited. It's good that you did wait. That way you could actually put all your energy and time into it. I can respect that for sure.
Yeah. So I wasn't on base, but for me, it was like I didn't want to get a notice that I need to deploy for a year, and now my wife's got to take care of all of the snakes and the kids by herself, and I didn't want to add that stress on her, or maybe we have to move or something. And just, I didn't want to do that at that time. Me and my wife talked it over and was like, it's best that we wait until I got out, especially since we knew I was getting out in a couple of years. So.
Well, I think everybody in the chat has waited long enough. Nate, I've waited long enough. Y'all want to do some snake and tail? Y'all want to show some tail?
I think that's actually a pretty good question, that Marquez. I'd like to touch base on that.
I'm gonna grab a beer.
Who do you look up to as a mentor, or who helped you grow and progress the most along the way in your journey?
That's a great question. I have a few mentors. One of my first mentors was KG.
Come on.
Hell yeah. Rich is one of my mentors from Capital City. Levance from Straight Fire. Another one of my mentors.
Got some good mentors, but I tell you what.
Yeah, like I said, we're blessed, man. I was able to actually, get these high level guys. They're actually cool with me now. Like me and KG talk almost every day. Just not even about snakes. Like he'll hit me up. What do you think about this video? Or what do you think about the Lakers? Like me, KG, and Rich and Levance. Like we're just cool.
They're all good people too. We're great people.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but great things about them. I've
They're
never
really nice.
met them, but I've heard a lot of good things for sure.
Met KG in person. He's tall. I definitely looked up to him like, yeah, bro.
Oh yeah, he's a legit 6'6". Legit.
I bet we know what sport he played in high school.
I hope it was basketball.
Right? Hitting that rim all day. Come here, little kid.
But yeah, I guess what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsor and play our commercial, and then we can do some snake and tail if that's something you're down with. For sure.
Vision Products has developed the slotted stainless steel Versa Rack, the best rack at the best price. The slotted stainless steel Versa Rack allows you to place multiple overhead light and heat sources above your breeding tubs. Couple this with optional Vision heat cables to also provide an underbelly heat source. Each pin of the rack design, making it modular, affordable, and easy to assemble. This design avoids expensive welding, yet maintains rigid strength and durability. Countless hours of design and prototyping led to the perfect end plate design to make the rack strong, easy to assemble, and keep manufacturing and shipping costs low.
Yeah, everybody, if you don't mind, go to www.visionproducts.us for all your reptile and rodent breeding needs. And if you have furry friends, you can go to customcages.com, and for all your fishing needs, custom aquariums. Yep, just got my new extension, so y'all be on the lookout for that new build video. It's a doozy. Took me forever to make that video, Mark. If you're watching this, making videos and building racks and posting it on the internet, it's not easy. It's not for an Alabama Southern boy. It took me all night, so I hope y'all enjoy that video. It'll probably be uploading around next week. It's been uploading for a day. It said it takes a long time to upload videos to 4K. So I guess I've never uploaded.
We got Sammy playing dominoes and watching us. Let's go, Sammy. Come on.
Oh, Sammy playing dominoes? He is a gangster.
Right? Pink Panther himself out there getting it.
For sure.
So what do you guys want to see?
Oh, whatever you want to show, man. We ain't picky.
So is it a
anything you're passionate about, or any projects you're working, or any genes you want to highlight? We're all good with that.
Okay.
I know you got some nice, pretty sunset over there.
I have one sunset. I only have one.
You got the sunset for the nostalgia, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, we got Python Prince in the house. What up, bruh?
What's up, Python Prince?
See, I like that. I think that looks pretty nice.
Yeah, this is black pastel sunset. One of the better examples of sunset, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like that for sure. She said that's just black pastel and sunset. That's it.
Yep, just black pastel sunset. This is from Dean's Reptiles.
You said Dean's Reptiles?
Yep, from Dean's Reptiles. Picked her up a couple years, like a year and a half back.
Very
definitely
nice.
has that dorsal pattern on it for sure.
Yeah.
All that flaming away.
I like how the pattern is, like how it's all chaotic, but it's clean and it's got an organization to it, but it's chaotic at the same time. I like a lava lamp kind of.
It's got a wink face on it. See it?
That's nice, man. I like that. That's a good. Hey, you got a good expression of that sunset. If you're gonna have one, you got to do get the quality for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Come on.
We're also she's in shed. Everybody's in shed.
Yeah, that's usually how it works when you're trying to show them or you're going to a show. They all shed, huh?
Yeah.
We like shed. It don't matter. We know what it looks like. But I also have some snakes that'll go in the shed and they're just as beautiful. I don't get it.
What's that codon, Nate, that you mentioned at the beginning? I'm trying to think of it off the top of my head with the clown in it.
You said a codon with the clown?
Yeah, that you're working.
Oh, you're talking about sapphire.
Yeah, let me see. I would love to like to say a sapphire.
Let's do sapphire. Let's do sapphire.
That thing is definitely got me intrigued. I wanted to.
See, sapphire is something I'm not really knowledgeable on. If when you're showing it, if you want to explain to me what it does and everything like that, that would be awesome.
So we'll start here. This is just sapphire.
Okay.
So it's like a darker. It blushes out the head.
Okay.
You know, Cheerio looks to it too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it does look holy, doesn't it?
That's just sapphire. And then when you put it into clown, of course he's in shed too.
Right, dude. That's what I was thinking. Mitzi, you know you made that. You're all shut up with it. Oh, that's nice right there, son. See,
that's clean.
That is
he's deep in shed too.
Still.
Yeah. So all of these, the sides, they're really bright. They brighten up.
You said it blushes out the head as well. I'd love to see what it does on that clown head. Oh yeah, wow,
that's wicked. That is wicked.
Wow, dude, look at that, dude. It's like camo head type, man.
Almost looks like a bear head. You got the nose and the mouth smiling at you and the big ears at the top.
Yeah.
A little bear.
No, that's a nice looking clown, man.
Yeah. So I'm excited to get him going. He's got
so you're gonna put that one with the female you just showed, the single being sapphire?
No, that was a male. That's just another sapphire male.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Mark, I think we all need that.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is like a cleaner GHI. I was gonna say that. You really, that's a good way to describe it.
This is a single gene lace.
So you work heavy on the lace?
Oh yeah, we're doing a lot of lace stuff this year. This one's lace. This is double head. The double head.
If he had to put something into his whole collection, it would be lace.
Yeah, that's clean.
I don't disagree with him.
Yeah. I'm thinking I like it too. You know, the more I see it, like in that one you just showed, that it looks great. You know?
Yeah. So that girl's double head VPI and hypo, and I have a male too. We're gonna try to make the white lace VPI hypos. So that's gonna be nice.
What was that? A leopard you had earlier?
Yeah, it was a. I'll show you.
See, I'm really getting big and heavy into the leopard.
Leopard's good, man. Everybody likes leopard. That's good.
I love leopard. I really like leopard with OD.
Oh,
So
yeah.
this is leopard spot nose. It's possible lace, het clown. I'm not sure because let me show you her sister.
So do you agree with a lot of my friends? They say leopard and spot nose is made for each other.
That's the only time I really like leopard is when spot nose is in it. Honestly, I think it clears out too much of the pattern.
Okay.
Of course, sister's in shed, but she's a little bit brighter. A little brighter and bigger.
I like the sister, the one you just put down. Even though it's in shed, I can tell it may be a little bit darker.
I like the darker and the grayer look to it.
Yeah, she almost looks Xanthic in shed.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
That's
So
clean.
I'm thinking she's laced for sure. Not 100% sure on her though. But she's in shed now, so we can send that shed in.
Kurt was asking, is that what you got from him?
Who?
Kurt,
oh no, I got these from Jersey guys. I think Kurt, what are you talking about? You're talking about the lace, aren't you? The lace double heads. I got those from him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, leopard. I think leopard, and now I'm starting to agree with Kurt and you about the lace. You know, I wasn't really knowledgeable on lace until recently, honestly, because I've heard a lot of different stuff about it. You know, there's a lot. I feel like there's a lot of controversy with lace stuff, right? It's kind of like the orange goes to different types of hypo. You know.
I'm gonna show you what a lot of people know me for. This is Mahogany Clown, just Mahogany Clown, Het Desert Ghost.
Let's go.
It's just a two-gener. You know what I'm saying? That's a stunner, dude.
And then look at her sister.
I like the shadow box action too. I can't lie.
I'm a Mahogany Clown fan, though. That definitely is up my
Well, you
alley.
like mahogany on anything, don't you?
Yeah, I like mahogany on a lot of shit.
Yeah.
So that's her sister. That's Mahogany Lace Clown.
Okay. See now seeing that has made me have to have a look.
All that blushing is clean.
That is nice. Golly, that's nice.
It just shows you like you just add the lace and then
look what it did. Yep.
You see.
I'm telling you, man.
The difference is crazy.
It is crazy. And that's the fun thing about it. That's why I love this so much. That's why my daughter loves it. Every time you have a snake come out, they look totally different.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know, it's cool as hell, you know. There's no real way to describe it if you've never done it.
That's the beauty of it.
I say with the kids, it's always like, to me, that's the greatest thing. Kids. We have
James. We got All Steady in the house.
What up? But yeah, to me, the kids is always the best thing. Like watching my daughter, and when she comes in here and sees all that, and like does the geckos with Alex and stuff, to me, it's amazing.
Oh yeah.
I think the crested geckos is perfect for kids. You know what I mean?
Oh, that right there is clean.
This is Black Pastel Wookie.
Okay,
come on. Wow.
Wookie's another one we're getting excited
about. If you want to explain to everybody what Wookie does.
So to be honest, I'm fairly new to Wookie.
Okay. Me too.
But I know Black Pastel helps Wookie spread out a little bit. It's like a darkening gene.
Okay. See, I've been sleeping on these darkening. See, I'm the dark lord, so I like anything dark. I want a completely black, just like most people, a completely black ball python. So,
well, you're gonna like the super blackhead stuff.
Oh
We're working on it now. We don't have any at the moment, but
that's what I'm trying to work as a blackhead GHI clown or a blackhead super GHI clown is what I'd really like to hit. But I'd be cool with the blackhead GHI clown. I think blackhead's another gene that you have to have now. You know, it's a really good gene to have, like leopard and spot nose and certain things, you know.
Here's that other one, Kurt. This is the other lace I got from you.
Oh, yeah.
That's just straight lace.
Yep, just lace.
See, it just looks so good. Just a single gene lace is what's got me liking it. You know?
Double head too, isn't she?
Yeah, lace double head VPI hypo. And they both tested double head. They were POS heads. They both tested double head. So
come on.
So when you say VPI, what line of VPI is that? I'm
not sure. You're gonna have to ask Kurt on that one. I'm not sure.
Kurt, if you're still tuned in, what's the line? Is it MJ VPI? What is it?
It's definitely VPI.
Okay.
It's VPI, yeah. Like you have MJ's its own separate line.
Is
MJ
it?
Market Exchange, yeah. Market Exchange is one, VPI's is one, TSK's it's one.
Okay.
I'm a VPI
I guess
guy.
that's where I get confused.
VPI guy too. I'm with you there, but I will tell you,
Love
Market Exchange
VPI.
is that black and white. Market Exchange is that black and white. But
That is nice.
That's VPI Pied.
let's go.
See, that kind of reminds me of the one Sammy's got. It's something about the gray and the black snake. You know, it just looks so awesome.
That's VPI Clown. And this dude is extra mean too.
That's clean.
Look
I
at
like
the
that.
head on that. Look at the head on that, man. It is so nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one's from Sloan Morphs, Darren.
Sloan. Very nice.
Another Cali guy.
Yeah. All you Cali guys.
Let's see. Oh, this one's really cool. I got this one from Rich, Capital City. This is a.
Oh yeah, Prince. I already know about that peach, man. Mark got me hooked on it.
Oh, that's clean. DG.
So yeah, this is my favorite kind of pied right here. This is a no white pied, no white DG pied.
Let's go.
Yeah.
What up, Marcus and Tiffany?
And you
A
can
little
see
bit of
it
white on the belly.
with the and it's coming up. It's bringing all that pattern up on right there towards the tail.
Yeah. I was really excited when this one came out. I actually cut this egg, and I was like, "Yeah, I need that."
He's I'm going for that. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and throw that in the rack. It's staying.
Yeah, right. Like, don't even post that one. That one's coming with me. What else?
So, someone in the comments mentioned peach. Is that something you're knowledgeable on, Nate?
No, I don't work peach or have any peach.
Oh, okay. I'm really liking it. Mark, he's big on it, and he got me into it a lot.
Oh, that's beautiful too. What is that?
This is a boy that I'm really excited about. He hasn't quite figured it out yet, but this is Pastel Stranger Het Monsoon Clown.
Nice.
So
Yeah, Het Monsoon's definitely doing his job for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's got like alphabet letters on the dorsal.
I've got
Super
quite a few
broken
Het
in.
Monsoons. I love them. Actually,
Yeah. His girlfriend's taking a little while. She's not as good of an eater as he is, but no rush.
And I like you said that. There's no rush to this, people. I mean,
No
grow
rush.
them snakes up as they want to grow up. Don't try to force nothing. To be patient, you know.
So Nate, that's actually a good question. Are you ultrasounding?
Oh yeah, we ultrasound once a month, sometimes twice a month if we don't get to everybody.
Come
But
on,
the first of every month we ultrasound.
let's go. Makes life easier, guys. Makes life easier.
Oh yeah.
And I would love to get an ultrasound. I've been palpating the whole time I've been doing this, but I would love an ultrasound. They are kind of pricey to get a good one, but if you can afford it, it's like we were talking the other day. You can see it, so you know what's going on. You're not having to guess, you know.
Yeah, ultrasounds are important to me because of the way that I breed. I usually have like a super powerful male that I want to take to like 5, 6 females, 7 females. So it's good to know exactly when they need to be bred. Most females get 1 to 2 locks for the entire season, so we're able to track it.
It's totally different when you don't ultrasound, because like me, I have to pair just so I feel like I know they took every other week. You know, I'm the kind of breeder that'll feed, and then when I'm breeding, I'll put that male in after a couple days, take him out, feed. You know what I'm saying? That's how I have to do it because I don't have an ultrasound.
Yeah, that's what I recommend to people that don't ultrasound is just one lock a month. I used to do 1 lock a month and never had any issues.
Hell yeah.
But it's hard when you're trying to do 1 male to, 4, 5, 6 females. If you got to do 1 lock per month, you're going to really be stressing that male out.
Exactly.
Right.
And if you're doing it without an ultrasound, you're doing it unnecessary, you know.
Yep. No, I had a female recently that actually wouldn't lock, and then I finally got my ultrasound in, and she was at like 23, 22, 23. I put the male in there immediately, and she locked immediately with him. I was like,
Yep, and it's good to track them because most of like my males, even my male that's breeding 6, 7 females right now, he's still not even going to breed once a month. Like he's going to breed every couple months because it's going on with females already. Saying that also helps because he doesn't go off of food because for that reason he's only getting like 1 lock every month or month and a half.
Correct.
That must be the female to that male you just showed.
No, this is a black pastel yellow belly.
Oh, okay.
Clown.
I would say there's got to be clown in that.
Yeah, yeah, black pastel yellow belly clown. I don't know what I don't know what we're gonna do with her yet.
You can send her to the Fulmer Parkway in Montgomery, Alabama, if you like. I got something to do with it. Oh yeah,
she got a little ways to grow.
Nate's definitely working with some good stuff over there for sure.
Yeah, trying to stock up on some good males and some good.
So, what's your vision towards the monsoon project, if you don't mind me asking? Because I see you got it, obviously, so you got a vision towards it. So,
I'm honestly one of those guys who likes. Go ahead.
All that, you know.
I've honestly noticed that I'm liking the monsoon better with one copy.
Yep.
So the het monsoon, I'm low key liking better than the visual because the visual is just so overpowering. I think it's beautiful in itself, just the normal monsoons.
Yep.
But there's really nowhere to go from there. You know, there's no like. It would be one thing is if like the monsoon pies, if it had the monsoon pattern with the white, I think that would be insane.
Right.
But it doesn't. You know, it's like hasn't been anything that's been able to break that pattern up, not even a little bit.
So you were KG is it's one copy and 2 copies, you know?
Yeah, me and KG won the same that way for sure.
Yep. I agree with them though. When I see the hets, it's like, all right, that could be one copy. I don't see this being recessive, you know, but
yeah,
it's what it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see.
And that's a good thing to say, you know, you got to know what you're putting stuff to for sure.
When you work it enough.
Yeah, that's why I got out of pies because a lot, like he was saying, a lot of times it's hard to, like when you put stuff with pies, it's not going to come out the way you think a lot of times, you know.
Yeah, unless they're high pattern. That's why I love my pies high pattern.
See, I love high pattern too, and a lot of people hate me for that because they're like, I like it white, and I'm like, fuck that. If I want to get a pill, you know.
Just this amount of pattern or this amount of white is perfect for me. I like to see the pattern a little bit better.
I love
this is
it,
yellow.
man.
This is orange dream clown pie here, female.
Beautiful, dude.
So, trying to think.
That is awesome. The high pattern to me on something, especially a clown.
Yeah.
Where you can see that, and you can the OD, and you because let's a regular pie, like a normal pie, like it doesn't really look like normal pattern. It's kind of orangey or yellow or dark.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like a normal looking ball python. So that already has that going for it. So then you throw, if you can get a high pattern with OD in it on a pie, that is awesome.
I would say Python Prince, that's the goal right there. Mojave Monsoons is one of my favorite. I got a Mojave Het Monsoon in there, and that is the goal.
Mojave is a great snake to have if you can get that in your collection. It's a lot of things.
One of my favorite of the monsoons. Like when you get the full pattern of the monsoon, that definitely the Mojave Monsoon. Like was one of my favorite. Now that's crazy. Is that lesser?
I still haven't figured out if this is lesser or some new special line.
I would think lesser, but you never know, man. I mean, you look at the orange blushing on the dorsal. It looks orange for me.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to have lesser in it. That's the crazy part. People are saying that it's lesser because of what it looks like, but it's supposed to just be some new special line. I'll show you his brother.
He's a wiggly worm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said, nope, not today.
The lesser wasn't even in the pairing then, huh, Nate?
No, it wasn't supposed to be.
And lesser's a dominant thing. Usually you can tell lesser right off the bat. So that'd be hard to.
Wow, that's crazy.
This is his brother.
So what was the pairing for them?
So the pairing was the Fire Batman that I just showed. That was the female.
Okay.
And then the male was a Cinnamon Cypress Special Het Clown.
Oh, that Cinnamon might be doing that on the one that you just showed for sure. Yeah.
Well, the one that I just showed, I think, doesn't have Cinnamon because look at this one.
What the hell? What? These are all the same clutch?
Yeah, these are the same clutch.
Wow, dude. Okay. Shit.
So I think this one, I think these are the same, but this one has the cinnamon and this one doesn't.
Okay.
I would agree there. Definitely.
Yeah, when you have them side by side like that, it's apparent. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's crazy, man. You got such a variety, dude, and
like we're lost on this clutch. I haven't even labeled these because I don't even know what.
And that's the thing with shed testing too, people. I mean, it's good to have it, but if you don't even know where to start, it ain't that easy.
Yeah, these are panel testers for sure.
I was going to say, actually, that's a good point, Mark. That they are part of the Bell complex. Do they all have special in it?
It is. That is a good point. For sure.
Yeah, this one's the all Jeaner. I have no idea what she is. It's actually a
That's
female.
insane.
It is. That is beautiful. That is.
Yeah.
It does look like it's got lesser in it, though. I mean, for real.
Yeah, like I mean, it's looking lesser to me too, but it wasn't supposed to be lesser in the pairing, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's wild, dude. Jesus, man.
Right?
I liked all of them, but that one, the second one you had, that was my favorite, just because it's darker. But that all Jeaner or whatever, that was a beautiful animal.
So this is a cinnamon special spot nose clown. This is that special I was telling you that they're supposed to have in them. This isn't their dad, but this is a different male. That's that special.
So did you get those from the same breeder?
Yep, they're all from Capital City.
Okay.
All from Cap. Okay, it's all rich. Come on.
Yep.
So that'll kind of narrow it down.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is then.
Yeah, and if you look at Dad looks crazy.
Oh God, if you're saying the dad looks crazy, I can't even begin to think what it's gonna look like. All these snakes look awesome, man.
He's in shed, but he's usually like super bright.
That's crazy. So does special do the same thing as lesser? I mean,
man, I have no idea. So I'm not sure what exactly the special line of this is, but I was told that it could be like the circus stuff. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the circus stuff.
I've heard of it, but I'm not familiar with a lot of the new stuff. Like, and a lot of the stuff that's getting big now, I'm not even really familiar with it because, to be honest, it's been out of my price range, or I'm thinking it might be something that's already existing.
Yeah.
So I don't really get my hopes up, you know.
Makes sense. I'm in the same boat. Most of this stuff I get the homie price.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Got to. Let's see if we got anything else cool. Oh, this guy here is Eric still in the chat?
Oh yeah, I think he just commented a minute ago.
So this is Eric's snake that we got from KG. This is supposed to be a new line of black pastel.
Okay. And see, that's what really confuses me, and that's why a lot of people research stuff, but I can't because I get flabbergasted because new line, right?
Yeah. So the only reason that they say that is because KG's actually sent sheds in for this line, and it doesn't come back but it doesn't come back black pastel. So
there, I have a question. So if you think that you have a snake that is a certain line of something, say black pastel,
and
you send it in and get it tested for black pastel, but it doesn't come up as anything, then does that mean that it's not? Because it might not would it be on the same complex or the
Now that I'm not sure. I know that when there's a new something that you think that is new or something that you think is going to be a new mutation or something like that, I know Charlie usually requires 30 different sheds. So you got to really do a lot of work before you can, try to say that something is something new. That's why we're saying it might be a new line of black patch stuff.
So basically, you're saying that because of the stuff that it does, the mutation that it does resembles.
Right.
Okay, got you. So who do you use for shed testing? You said Charlie. What is that? Gray?
Yeah, Charlie. It's a Gray Rider.
Yeah, Gray Rider. Okay, I want to say Green Line for some reason, but Gray Rider. Okay.
So along with the how we were talking about monsoon, how I like I like it on one side. I'm leaning towards the same with the scaleless head. So this is just a VPI Exantic head clown, but it's also scaleless head.
Let's go. Yeah, we're working some scaleless head over here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that, Justin. That's cool. And I was going to ask him because I don't really know a lot of people that work it. I didn't know you did that.
Standards.
Yeah. I think it brightens. I'm pretty sure it's brightening the pattern a lot.
Okay.
And this is also from Darren at Sloan Morphs.
Come on.
The homies.
Yeah.
Well, hell yeah. Well, dude, you have some awesome animals.
Appreciate it.
Like I said, everybody, if you ain't following them, you're slacking. You need to go over there and hit the follow now. Leave my video, get off of YouTube, and go to Instagram and hit that.
Yay.
Well, hell yeah. If you want to show one or two more, then we'll ask a few more questions, and we'll see if anybody in the comments has any questions. If anybody in the comments has any questions for Nate, like Mark, he just said, have you ever created a super scaleless?
No, I try not to.
And now I was going to ask that a minute ago because you said something about the scaleless head. So, and why do you do that? Just to let people know, because a lot of people might not know.
I like the scaleless head on one side, kind of like how the pattern is on the monsoon on one side, the head monsoon. You get the head monsoon markers and stuff like that. Yeah. I think for the scaleless, the single gene, the scaleless head or single copy scaleless head, it brightens the pattern. It's almost like a pastel that doesn't brown out. That makes sense.
Right.
And you don't do the super scaleless for what reason?
I've heard that they're more difficult to take care of, and I heard that it takes a lot more time, and that they don't thrive, they don't breed. So yeah. I just been distant from it. I actually do want to have one as a pet, just to have. But I haven't made any clutches or anything. I probably buy one just to have.
Well, Nate, you ever do? I could help you with that shed stuff. There's actually a solution that I use, and I've actually what was it? I think it was Chris Hardwick hit me up and was like, "Yo, let me get some of that because I mess with a lot of scaleless, and it works good. It works good."
And that's what I was gonna say. I think like back in the day when Brian and all the big dogs were doing it, I think that it was bad because they didn't really know. They didn't have time. It's just like anything, you know. You don't have time to research anything, so it was hard.
This, Nate, you can see it.
I can see it. Is that a powder?
Yeah, so you add it to the waters when you soak them, and I mean it will come off like butter. It literally will come off like butter, bro. It will.
That's the electrolyte soap.
Yeah, the electrolyte soap.
Okay. I'd be down. This is acid clown.
I knew you were going to say acid, bro. I knew it. You can spell acid so good. And that's what pissed me off about the whole acid confusion thing.
Yeah. They definitely look a little bit different for sure.
They do, man. They really do, man.
Surprisingly, this is one of those auction finds. We got this off of an auction. I think we got her for like $100.
Really?
Yeah.
Screw you.
Right? Because I wasn't going to get one because they were too expensive. But I was like, I can't pass this up.
Oh, yeah. No, I had an acid. It actually passed away. It didn't do good. That's the reason the dude gave it to me at the show. He was like, I don't really want to sell it, but I've had it and blah, blah, blah. And I got it to eat good a little bit, but then it never really thrived. But it was an expensive ass snake, and it's one of the most expensive snakes I had in my collection. We lost your camera. I don't know if you did that.
Flipping it.
Okay, no doubt. Now, hell yeah, dude. I'm telling you, dude, those snakes, those are awesome. And anything is.
It's actually a good question. Tyson wants to ask it to Nate. If you weren't breeding ball pythons, Nate, what would be your hobby?
Swimming.
If I wasn't breeding ball pythons,
it'd be an Olympic swimmer.
I was gonna say, other than sports, I've never really had like a love for anything like I have for these. I love cars and vehicles and stuff and working with my hands, but it's not as much as this or sports. And I'm getting older, so the sports are starting to get over with the snakes. So
no doubt.
We start looking more towards retirement, what we can do easier when we get older, you know.
It's like everybody in the RWO chat, we always talk about skateboarding and dirt biking and doing crazy extreme shit when we were younger. It's like, dude, I couldn't even imagine doing that shit now.
I'm a spectator now.
Yes.
Yeah, Mark made a good point. He said you weren't some great dominant genes.
Thank you.
So that's a good question, I guess. Do you prefer recessive or, dominant?
So I made a thing where all of my males are going to be a visual of something, het something else, or double visual something, or because recessives is whether we like it or not, it's a part of the hobby now. If it's not het for something, or if it's not visual something, it's not selling.
Yeah. It's not selling for the money. We'll put it that.
It's not selling. You could probably give it away.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We had some spin to wins one time where I was trying to give snakes away that a couple years ago people be fighting in the comments over. Right. And they were like, "Oh, I don't need that in my collection." Yeah. I'm like, God, where have I been under a rock?
Yeah. So that's the route we've been trying to go with, at least with our males. That way, everything we produce will be either het for something, and it also helps when they don't sell. If it's het for something, then we can hold it back and
actually prove it out.
Exactly.
Correct.
Yeah,
and that's where you can start working your double recessives and your triples. When you have that sitting in the drawer, and that's kind of what I've been doing my past year. Is if there ain't nothing in my drawer ain't got a recessive, I almost don't want it. It's
right.
Gotta go. I hate to be that guy, but I'm gonna be that guy.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you got a business to run. You know what I mean? It's not a daycare center.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like you got, I'm sure well over 40 over there, but you got money invested in this, so it comes to a point where this is a hobby and this is fun. To where now, okay, this is a business. We have to see some income coming in, because at the end of the day, we're going to go broke over this situation. People don't understand the feeding, the husbandry, everything for these animals that we do and take care of it's not cheap. It's really not. It's not.
And nobody wants to hear that. Everybody's like, "Oh, you're just doing this for the money." It's like, no, I have a very deep connection and a love for these animals. But at the end of the day, the bills have to be paid. They have to have electricity so that they can keep warm. Got to be able to purchase the rats, or if you're
there's a difference. Well, I want to specify. I think when I say they're only in it for the money, I'm talking about the people who put that passion aside, for the money. It's one thing to make money doing something you love, and it's another thing to try to let that influence your decision making, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think there's a way to look at it, and you're right. You got to buy rat food. You got to buy substrate.
Yep.
The herpestats don't pay for themselves.
Exactly.
The racks behind you cost money.
Yeah, these racks.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
Anybody who's had to buy professional racks knows what I'm talking about. Just
not
even just a rack. You gotta have it shipped. You gotta have it shipped, and then you gotta use your own sweat equity to build them. Then you got to fill them.
And that's what I was going to say. The good thing about the vision rack, all you need is one wrench. That's all you need. One wrench. And you can put that whole thing together.
Must be nice. You need rivet guns, screwdrivers, drills, mallets.
You hear what you're saying, people? You hear what he's saying? Vision, baby. Vision. You see it? Vision.
Yeah.
Come on.
But, okay, I have a crazy question that Tyson sent me, and I really want to start asking it more to people. What is a gene that you would expel from existence?
Expel from existence.
That never have happened, you know, that you hate that for whatever reason, or you don't think it looks good, you think it's whatever.
Expel?
Yeah.
People upset.
To extinguish it from life. Right? To never have even been born. You know?
That's a great question.
It's a great question, ain't it? Because I don't even know the answer.
Yeah, I don't think that there's a gene that I would take completely off of the earth, but
I think mine would be Blade.
Blade is a good one.
I don't
Blade
like
looks good in some things too. There's some scenarios where Blade is good.
And that's what makes it difficult. You know,
Yeah.
like people hate on pastel, and it's like, well, if you put pastel with that, you know, pastel GHI looks good as fuck to me.
Yeah, pastel DG looks good. Pastel lace looks good. Pastel hypo looks good.
And it's
You
all
can't
about
do pastel. I think pastel like in DG is like I think it's gonna be a must. Even down the road when you start working these a lot more jeans into it, you're still gonna need pastel there. I feel like
and if you even if you look at it in the sense of expelling it from existence, like let's say I wanted to say the spider complex, anything in the spider complex, whether it be fucking Tide, what is it? I think Tide's in it, champagne, anything that has neurological problem. Black Cat, I think, is actually even in it. And there's a lot of genes in it. And even if I was to say I would expel that because of the neurological issues, you know, it'd be that PETA guy, then you wouldn't have all these badass snakes.
That would change the entire trajectory of the hobby, because then you don't have those. When they were beginning, like the beginning of the spiders and stuff, they were selling for buku money. So if you didn't have those back then, you don't get the next import. You know, you don't get the next thing. If I had to say something, I'd probably say like desert, something that doesn't produce or something like that.
Okay. Yep. So you would, okay, that's a good answer actually, because you're looking at it in the sense where it's basically not good for anything, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, the males can produce, but the females can't. So it's like,
right.
It's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, though. At the end of the day, it's all cool, man. It's all wild, you know? It's cool, man. I'm glad he gave me that question. I think that's a cool question.
Yeah, that's a great question.
It definitely.
I don't know, but like Sean, the patternless, like the full patternless. Have you ever held one and just like look at them?
Patternless, scaleless,
or scaleless. I mean,
scaleless. Yeah, they're crazy. They feel like wrinkled. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
To me, my dyslexia kicked in. I'm sorry. I saw patternless. It is patternless, but I was thinking scaleless in my head.
Yeah. I've held it in person. They're pretty cool.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of them though. It's not like a snake you see at tables filled up at a show or nothing. And I think that might be changing. You know, we learn every day. We say this so much about how in the 90s it was different than it is today about heat rocks and sand and blah, blah, blah. So it's all a scientific experiment, if you will. We learn every day. Like you could be doing this for 10 years.
Yep.
Every day you go in that snake room, you learn something different.
Absolutely.
Every time you talk to somebody, we learn different from each other. So it's never ending experiment, I guess, if you will, in keeping these animals. So you don't ever think you know it all, or, you know, and don't think that just because something didn't work, you got to give up. Like, you know, it probably ain't working for the next person too. You're not alone. You know what I mean?
Right. Actually, I got a good question, Nate. What if there was another species you would get into? What would it be?
So I'm actually planning on getting into a few more species. I actually bred bearded dragons in the past.
Come on.
So when we move back to Michigan, I'd plan on getting into carpet pythons.
Wow. Okay.
A lot of research on those. My buddy Rich is into the monitors now. I'm not fully on board with breeding monitors, but I do want to get a monitor.
You'll never. Hey, I tell you what. Once you get a monitor, like an Asian water monitor,
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I want to get a black dragon.
Oh, me too, bro. Look, that is the epitome of reptile to me. If I could afford it, I have an Asian water monitor, just a wild type. But if I could, if I could definitely have a black dragon, I want to breed monitors. That's what I want. I'm a big lizard guy. I like my snakes, but I love big lizards. That's what got me into this. Those big lizards in the 90s,
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I just got my first big infertile clutch from my bearded dragon, which is kind of a good sign because I kind of been waiting for her to be ready. So she finally dropped. So I'm like, oh yeah, now it's game on, But I keep mine. I stay in Florida, so I keep my bearded dragons outside all year long. I have outside cages built for them, so they stay outside. And actually, and with my girls, they cohab with my tortoises. So my tortoises and my bearded dragons, they cohab in the same cage outside.
Are they mean?
Nope.
I only say that because when I had my bearded dragons, I would let them outside, and as soon as they see the sun, they just turn into like this totally different animal that I've never seen.
Oh no, I can go out there.
Justin's live out there 24/7. So
yeah, I can go out there and pull my because I have like extreme red, like really dark deep red male, and I can tell you also what's good about them being in the sun. Like my basic normal female, she's a normal bearded dragon. She has more colors than any normal you'll see out there because she's out in the sun 24/7. And the colors, like she looks orange as shit. And people are like, holy crap, what does she have in her? I was like, that's just a normal. But if I bring her inside, because when I had kept them inside for a bit, the colors weren't there, And when I moved them outside, you're like, holy shit, this is a whole different animal.
That's what they were telling me. That's why I would take them outside. I was like, okay, I'll take them outside every day or every couple of days or something. But I have to put a leash on. I had a male that I was testing. I had to put a leash on him because as soon as his feet hit the ground, he's on two legs, just running across the yard.
It's because he hasn't really experienced it. Once you keep doing it repeatedly and repetitively, it's going to be nothing to him. But honestly, if you build you a cool little cage and you can walk outside during the day, during the hot times, I know it's not hot all year long, but
we get
right, and just something you can set them in, and walk inside and then come out and check on him for a little bit. He's gonna love you forever, and actually he's gonna calm down and tame down and be like, all right, it's time for me to go inside. I want to go to bed anyways. Let me go in, type deal.
But I will say with that Asian water monitor, mine's outside too. My tortoise and my monitor live out there because I'm like Justin. It probably gets cold here 2 days a year, maybe.
Oh,
and it's not even really that cold. You know what I mean? It's but at first when I put her out there, she was a bee. She was not having it, right? But it got to the point now I can just feed her out of my hand. But I will say monitors are a different lizard. They're not they're kind of like iguanas in the sense that they're like a cat, If they don't want to be messed with, they're going to let you know. Like I have videos of me feeding her by hand, but then I also have videos right after that of her tail whipping me, acting like she's going to bite me. But it is what it is. I love the personalities of the big lizards.
I heard those tail whips are no joke. I used to watch growing.
You just got to take it like a champ. You know what I'm saying? You're big. You could take it like nothing. You'd be like, that's nothing.
To me, it's
I'm like a teddy bear. I'm like a teddy bear.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
To me, it's not a tail whip. It's more the claws that scratch you. Like when I had that little monitor, that guy would scratch you to death,
Well, I guess the baby is giving us a hint. So I'll leave it off. That's a good way to end it. We're at 1 hour and 30 anyway. I don't really like to go over 1 hour and 30 just because, it is what it is. We do got families and everybody out there's got families and there's other shows on. So be sure to, keep a lookout for all the reptile type shows that are on YouTube. But I want to ask you one last question before we get out of here. And then we'll do our goodbyes. What's the one thing that the industry needs to do now to do better as a whole?
As a whole?
Yeah, do better as a whole for the entire community.
Just one thing? No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like, what's
like,
one thing you see?
more than one thing.
Like for me, it's the drama. I think all the drama needs to just stop.
I was just gonna say people have a little bit more integrity, whether that's labeling snakes or whether that's honoring. Maybe you messed up something happened in shipping or whatever, honoring that, or just like having a little bit more respect for your business, like actually build your business as like a reflection of you. You know what I mean? There's a good number of people out here just literally in it for the money. They'll send you a snake that's 4 years old and it's 80 grams, and then try to make you feel like you're something for asking about it. Like 5 years,
You've clearly been assist feeding this there, bud.
Right? You feeding it once every 6 months or what?
Yeah, integrity. That's a good way to sum that up. Just in one word, integrity. Have integrity, people. If you live up to your word, like I don't want to say be a man because there's women that do it, but be a man, dude. Like, don't be a bitch. You know what I'm saying? If you make a mistake, admit it, move on.
Yep. Have integrity. You made your mistake, own up to it, and make it right.
That's right.
Be a man. Be a man at the end of the day. If you are a man and you own the business, be a man.
Even if you're a woman, walk in there and be a man and drop some bows.
I tell you, there's some women in this industry that act more mature than a lot of the men in this industry.
Oh,
for sure.
Dude, there's a lot of bad people in this industry and assholes and naysayers and negative people, but there's also way more positive people and people that want to help you. And you just have to find those people. Once you find that clique of people, you link up, you're straight.
Exactly.
It's nothing but positivity from then on.
I will say though that my mentors have been telling me that it is getting a lot better. Like some of the guys that I know have been in the game 15, 20 years, they're like back in 10, 15 years ago, it was way
that was cutthroat.
It was gatekeepers. Like they were telling me like they would cut off the hemipenes and sell them as females, like all kinds of like.
KG definitely tell you about that. Like I've heard some stories of that shit where they were literally cutting beans and selling shit and clipping them. I'm like, whoa, what?
Selling them as females, yeah.
But you're talking they were doing that because of what?
They didn't want people to get ahead.
Yeah, but they wanted that money too because back then those snakes. People don't understand. Like we still got snakes that are expensive, but 5-10 years ago, even those same snakes were so. You're talking about people were dropping money.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like
mortgages. Yeah,
exactly. So they were doing that because they was desperate, greedy bastards wanting that money. They'd sell it as a female and charge more.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's it's crazy. But I am so glad we got to have you on, Nate. I didn't know you before this. And that's awesome. Usually the people we get here I kind of know, but I tried not to even talk to you really until we did the show, and I'm glad I did because you're an awesome dude, man. And
we locked in now.
I'm glad we got to have this interaction.
Well,
sure, man.
I hope you guys are cool now. You guys can't get rid of me now. I'm gonna be hitting you guys up.
We don't want to get rid of you, man. Hey, you purple herbal. We don't want to get rid of you, purple herbal.
Purple's royalty. Tell them, Nate. Purple's royalty.
No, I was like, I got to do the theme purple for my boy. You know, he got that purple. It looks good. So
it's something about that purple, man.
Yeah, no, it looks good. I like it, and especially with them green snakes. Justin, you got anything you want to tell everybody? I know you like speed bumps and shit.
Hey, that's what I like to tell everybody. Hey, they're just speed bumps in the road. Keep going over them sons of bitches. Don't let them stop you. As soon as you let them stop you, you're gonna fall down, etc. You know, like Nick said, keep plowing over them sons of bitches. And finally, the road's gonna stop. You know.
Amen.
Everybody in the chat for coming out. Nate, definitely it was cool to get to know you, meet you. You're actually cool with some really good people that I've met. You know, I've met KG, haven't met Richie. I've talked to Richie backstage, whatnot. Really good people, you know. And Levance, of course, you know, everybody knows Levance. He's words of wisdom guy, you know, great guy, you know. So, but definitely good and nice to meet you. See what you're working, bro. I can't wait to see more. Honestly, I want to see. to Michigan,
More
get
coming.
and keep pushing the projects, bro, because I want to see more for sure. So
More
He's
coming. I
gonna move to
appreciate you guys
Michigan
for
and
having
get BHB a run for their money.
me. Well, thank you guys for having me. I really
Hell
appreciate
yeah,
it.
man! Anytime, and anytime, hit me up on IG, and hell, anything you need, man, I got you for sure.
Oh, show same here. My door is always open.
Hell yeah, man! Well, you have a great night, and we'll go ahead and end this. I will run this commercial, and then we'll get out of here for y'all.
Vision Products has developed the slotted stainless steel Versa Rack, the best rack at the best price. The slotted stainless steel Versa Rack allows you to place multiple overhead light and heat sources above your breeding tubs. Couple this with optional Vision heat cables to also provide an underbelly heat source. Each pin of the rack design, making it modular, affordable, and easy to assemble. This design avoids expensive welding, yet maintains rigid strength and durability. Countless hours of design and prototyping led to the perfect end plate design to make the rack strong, easy to assemble, and keep manufacturing and shipping costs low.
All right, everybody. I want to thank all of y'all for coming out. I really want to thank Nate. That's an awesome dude. Right, Justin? I mean, that dude is awesome. Like, I'm super happy I got to meet him and talk to him tonight and show off some of his amazing.
Definitely cool. Definitely
his
cool.
snakes are like, wow, right? I mean, like, I don't know if you follow him on Instagram, Justin, but I'm sure you are now since we've been having.
For sure.
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, and especially those videos that he made, they're so professional looking and very
Come on.
quality. So yeah, keep grinding, Nate. You're on the road to success, my friend, and good luck with your move. Everybody in the chat, I would not do this if y'all wasn't there. You know, I always say I would do it regardless, but I probably wouldn't. Vision,
He's a chooch. He would.
y'all are awesome. I probably would, but I would be a lot more drunker. Now I have to have some kind of I have to have a
Y'all give him a reason to be sober and to be smart.
Well, on that note, hey, don't ever stop grinding, baby. RWO.
Come on.